Welcome back to Uncorked, guys. This is a little bit of a special edition, and I have a special guest with me, Mr. Jim Dunaway. Welcome back.
Oh, I love this show so much because it's so casual, and we talk about everything on here. That's why I love this.
Everything and anything, or anything and everything, whatever that saying is.
Either way.
Either way. But is this your appearance number 3?
3 times, all special occasions. Final Four, Talladega on the Breaking News on Aiden Holloway.
Wait, no, this is number 4.
And then this. What was the other one?
Oh wait, no, that was a something on the next round. Because I was gonna say we did that live thing outside in Arizona as well.
That's right.
But that was the next round,
Yeah,
I
so
think.
we did one late night where we ruined a couch.
Yes.
We did Talladega where we talked about Aiden Holloway.
Yep.
And now we're doing this where we're talking about something I'm
Yeah.
really passionate about.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. So most of you probably follow Barstool and or Alex Cooper, who's the host, I'm just going to say host, of Call Her Daddy. So they split in Call Her Daddy left Barstool in, I don't know the year.
Yeah,
Let's estimate.
2021 maybe, a few years ago.
Okay, that's a guesstimate. We're not 100% sure, but over a year ago at least. And Dave, as we were talking about earlier, Dave Portnoy kind of got Alex Cooper started. She's obviously very successful now. And he went on Call Her Daddy. He was a guest on Alex's podcast. When was this? I don't know when it was released.
They were both at the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, so this past weekend, I guess.
So that's where they taped it, and it was released shortly after that. And those two have, a lot of respect between the two. Like you said, Dave helped, Alex get started. Call Her Daddy when she left, took the name and the podcast, and they joke on this episode about him still owing her some money, and they laugh about that, but they both are uber rich now, uber successful.
Right.
So that's why I love this episode so much, because they were back together, and I love both of them separately, because I never listened to Call Her Daddy when it was on Barstool.
Yeah.
But became a big fan when Alex went on her own. But I so much respect for Dave and what he built there. So I'm a fan of both of them, and to see them both in the same podcast again, I got so pumped up.
That's what I saw, because I didn't know it was happening. I don't know if they teased it or not, but I didn't know that it was happening. And then I saw a clip on TikTok or something, and I was like, oh my God, I need to listen to this. So that's what I was going to ask you next, is your opinion on both of them just as individuals.
Both of them are so great at creating content. Dave he can be floating in a pool with his shirt off, talking about someone who got fired the other day and toasting his demise, and it's entertaining. Or he can be making a bet on Michigan to beat Alabama. And a brilliant mind to pull all of these people to recognize talent and unique talent and bring them together and let them grow in the culture as Barstool. So much respect for him as a business guy. And then there's Alex, who is one of his projects, who's gone on to do these amazing things. I think she's one of the better interviewers in America.
Yeah.
On any platform, I think she does for this generation what people thought Oprah did back in the 80s and 90s. You get a big star and they bring out the best interview. And before that, in the 70s, it was Barbara Walters. I think Alex Cooper is that interviewer now. Like, if I wanted to see an interview with any superstar or political person or athlete, I'd want Alex Cooper to do the interview now. I think she's that good at getting people in a comfort zone to where they share everything. And those are the best interviews, where the interviewer gets the interviewee so comfortable that there's no boundaries.
They're loose lips.
They'll talk about everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
What a compliment from you to Alex.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
That's what I agree. I think Dave is a controversial human just because he has a big personality. And I feel like anyone that has a big personality, people tend to either love them or hate them. But I don't know the exact, how long it took exactly for them to get Barstool off the ground. But I mean, it went from nothing to this major business. So that's like, you have to, whether you like him as a person or not, I think he's entertaining, and I like that he has his opinions and he owns them. He's never backing down. If he believes something, he is going to go to his deathbed defending what he believes, or his opinion on something. And I respect that.
So hard to not be a people pleaser.
Right.
Everyone wants to be liked.
Right. And everyone has an opinion too. And it's hard when you're the one that's on the camera, and especially for y'all, we'll use an example of like a chat room or Twitter or anything like that. People can hide behind a keyboard and say their opinion or what they think about you, but you're the one that's having to sit there and take it all. So I have a lot of respect for him. I think he's entertaining. And like you said, he identifies talent extremely well, obviously. He finds the most random group of, like, Barstool's made up of the most random group of people on the planet. And they're just funny. Like, they're goofy. They're funny. They have very diverse personalities, which is what makes it interesting. And I agree with Alex. I was never a huge fan of I guess it was Call Her Daddy when it was a Barstool show. But now I like, she's kind of reminds me of Lance in the sense that she brings these people on and you know the names, but then you learn stories that, you know, it's like you never knew these things about these people that everyone feels like they know a lot about. And I feel like that's kind of how Lance is too. Like he comes up with these random facts from 17 years ago, random stuff like that. But I like her a lot. I like the way that she interviews. But the controversial topic right now with Dave is the new girl that he brought to the Celtics game. So did you hear the background of how they got those tickets and all that stuff?
I did not. I don't know any of this.
Okay, so he bought tickets from, I guess, the secondary market because he's from Boston,
right.
Loves the Celtics, and they were playing.
It's his team, his town, yeah.
Yeah, and so they were playing in Miami, and so he wanted to go to the game. So he bought tickets, I believe, from the secondary market, and then realized that they were a scam, like they weren't real, because he got offered courtside seats and he passed them up because he was like, I don't want the cameras, I don't want any, like, I'm just trying to go to this game, obviously with this girl, and I don't want all that. So, and I think that he said something about her not wanting, like, I don't think that she's one that wants to
be in the spotlight,
right? Which I don't know how that's gonna work out, but that's besides the point. So he turned down the courtside seats, tries to buy these tickets in just a random place, and then they're a scam. So someone that works at Barstool, they have some sort of ticket company that's a sponsor or something, so they got seats for him. So he didn't know where they were. So they show up, and he said they literally went and asked a security, not a bouncer, but one of the people.
Ushers,
yeah. Yeah, where are these seats? So he said that they go and they sit down, and then within 2 minutes into the game, and you can see his face when in the clip, he's kind of like, oh, shit. I think that we were just on TV. So they got up and moved I'm pretty sure he said that he went on the internet and bought 2 different tickets that weren't sold, and they just moved to a random area because they didn't want to be on TV. So I thought initially, I was like, he knows what he's doing. He sat here and, like, you know, I feel like a lot of his moves are calculated. Right. He doesn't make mistakes.
Loves the spotlight.
Yes. And that's part of that's part of the business that he's in. Right. And so I was like, he did this on purpose, and he's just trying to act like this. But after I heard the story, I was like, okay, that kind of sucks because he can't go anywhere without, you know, someone taking a picture or video of him. So I don't know how many days later he was on Call Her Daddy, but probably a week or something.
A little less because it was that Saturday.
Okay,
so the Kentucky Derby, or maybe it was the Oaks on Friday, so it was shortly after it.
Okay, so shortly after. And so she was with him at the Kentucky Derby. And
Alex Cooper's there.
Yes, and Alex Cooper's there. So did they say, I feel like they said this, they had planned to do this at the Kentucky Derby before any of that happened, right?
They knew both of them were going to be there, and they had been estranged, if you will, since they had the split. But I think they were, you know, sort of working back into being friends again, and this was a big reunited episode. It was so fantastic. So she goes with Dave. I guess they're in some room in Kentucky, I guess. And Alex starts questioning him, or not necessarily questioning him, but asking him about her, about their relationship and all this. And do you think, because he said, I don't want to talk about this. Like, this isn't what this is supposed to be about. I don't want it to be about this. And she straight up said, this is what the people want to hear. And this is a business, like, I'm trying to get clicks. So I'm going to ask you about it. So what's your initial take on that? I think he taught her very well.
Yeah.
And he 100%, if she was working at Barstool and it was someone else, if it was LeBron was sitting in the chair, he'd have been, you got to ask about the girlfriend. You got to ask about the girlfriend. So I love that. But as you know, that's coming out. The big bombshell for me was that Dave is still married.
Yeah,
I was like, what the F?
Yeah, okay.
I was like, are you kidding me? How are you still married?
First off, I didn't know that he had been married, which I might be in the minority there, but I didn't know that. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, well, I mean, we're just best friends. And I was like, so how does this, like, I don't understand how this works. And then I don't understand how you can't get divorced because of how much money you have.
Well, they couldn't come up with a settlement, and the judge was like, you got too much money to get a divorce. I'm not going to grant the divorce. And she still has access to all the accounts from what I read, from what I.
Yeah, he said that because he was like, "What if she wants something, then she just gets it."
That's right. And I know another couple, I'm not going to name names, that work that way too. Very famous person who's really wealthy and never has gotten a divorce because the wife's like, I'm okay. We are not together anymore, but I still want the access to all the accounts.
But did he not say that she agreed? Like, we don't have to do a 50-50 split.
Right.
And they still said no. Like, I don't understand why, if she was agreeing to that.
I don't understand that either. I don't know how it works in that state.
I don't understand how it works at all.
But I was blown away that he was still married. And then he had a, sort of a model girlfriend for a long time.
I like her a lot.
I did too. And I think that's where the controversy comes in because everybody liked her.
Well, I respect him a lot. I respect him a lot because they didn't talk a lot about it, but Alex was like, why are you not hiding this? I can't remember what her question was, but basically, why don't you want to talk about it? And he was like, well, have you ever had an ex that you don't want to upset? And I was like, respect. I respect you a lot for that because he could be going about it in a very different way.
Truthfully, I've always lived by the motto, win the breakup. You win the breakup. If you break up, whether you dump or get dumped, you go and win the breakup. Now in the social media era, if you broke up with somebody, I would expect you every day to be best looking picture on Instagram or I'm having the most fun. It's the greatest time. And truthfully, I've been married now 25 years, but there's still 2 or 3 people in my life that every day I'm still thinking I'm winning the breakup still. 28, 30 years later, I'm still winning the breakup.
What?
Until I die, I'm still winning the breakup. I believe in winning the breakup. So I do have respect for him that he likes her, loves her so much, the time they spent together, that he's respecting her and doesn't want to rub it in her face.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, obviously.
When it went the other direction, I try to win. I mean, it motivates me every day to go to work.
That's why you get out of bed.
and win the breakup. Since a girl in college, a girl in my single days in the 90s, I'm still trying to win the freaking breakup.
You're insane. You are insane.
Yeah. Girls who said no to me in high school win the breakup.
Oh, my God. You think they're like, oh, my God, look at this clip I just saw of him on Twitter. I lost.
I think I've aged better than anyone in my high school class and, for the most part, my college class. I'm pretty happy with winning the breakup every day.
Okay. Well, if that's what motivates you, then.
Yes. And I respect Dave.
Yeah.
For not being that guy.
Yeah, yeah. But so I agree with that because I started thinking about it. And at first I was like, I feel kind of bad for him because he's obviously agreed to do this show. When he agreed to do it, he didn't know that there was going to be all of this discussion about this new girl.
Yeah, that was before he popped on national TV.
Right.
Right.
He obviously doesn't want to talk about it. He says that repeatedly. And she is just hammering him with questions. So I'm like, I kind of felt bad for him because I was like, if I was sitting there, I was him, and I was in his shoes in that exact situation, I think I would want to melt.
But how many times have you had a chance to make a former boss or even a friend squirm a little bit? I appreciate her continuing to keep the heat on and making him squirm. That was fantastic TV or video.
Well, I agree. So I felt bad for him, but I also respect that because continuing to question and prod.
That's right.
Knowing who he is and how big of a personality he is, and he is not afraid to say anything. Like, he will fire back. But I just don't. I mean, yes, that's what people wanted to hear about, but at the same time, I still don't really know how I feel. But let me backtrack a little bit. When Bree Chicken Fry and Zach Bryan were rumored to be dating, I'm pretty sure that he questioned her on BFFs.
BFFs was the first thing. So, Bree, are you dating Zach Bryan? And she's like, I don't want to talk about it. And he was like, wait, you owe us. We do this for clicks. We do this for views. If this story is going to break anywhere, it should break right here.
Right.
And so, turnaround's fair play.
Yeah, yeah. So that's I thought of that after the fact, and I was like, he's getting a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah.
But then I'm also this girl, whoever the girl is, I don't know her name. I don't know anything about her. I've seen that one picture of her. But she's kind of caught in the crossfire because if she really doesn't want, if he doesn't want to talk about it out of saving face for her because she doesn't want attention or whatever, but she shouldn't be dating him if she doesn't want attention because
That's
he's
right.
a walking attention.
That's right.
Or seeker. Not seeker, but he's in public. He's going to get attention because of how famous he is.
Curating is the reference to how popular you are with the masses. He has a very high Q rating. A lot of
Right.
Americans under the age of, we'll say under the age of 40, know Dave's name. They know
Yeah.
his face, and they know Barstool. So
Right.
if you're around him, you're going to get your picture taken.
Exactly. So it's like she walked into that situation. But if you can avoid it in situations like that, if it's a controlled environment and you don't have to bring attention to it, I understand that. And, okay, this is what made me sad. When he said, we were talking about it, I guess before they left to go to wherever they were filming, he said, we were talking about it, and she was saying, should I not go? Should I not go? And he said, no, she'll have the decency to not bring this up if I don't want to talk about it. And then I was like, okay, now I'm sad because if he's just trying to stand up for this girl that is, she's just living, and now Alex is exposing her. But it is the business.
It is the business, and
like if
it made for a great moment. I mean, that's one of those iconic moments that you'll go back and you'll see that clip, for the next 5 years, 10 years, for as long as Alex is doing Call Her Daddy.
Yeah,
that'll be one of those highlight clips where it's just cutting to Dave. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you just going to keep asking me about it? I don't want to talk about it.
Exactly. Are you just going to be silent if you're going to keep asking me about it? Yeah. And then she just continues asking. Then just starts trying to ask the girl, how old are you? Higher or lower, whatever.
Yeah.
And Dave's like, do not answer her. But then again, I'm like, I can't have a problem with it because if y'all were having someone on, like you said about if she was still working at Barstool, Dave would be like, you have to ask. If y'all were having someone on that had some scandal, well, depending on, not scandal, but a big news story, me being the social media person, I would be like, what if y'all didn't bring it up? So I get it. But I also, if I was in, I don't want to say that it's okay because if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't want someone to do it to me,
Always off camera, though. I'm the one that's always grilling you, and you're always, I don't want to talk about it. I'm always asking the questions of everybody up here. So, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to talk about it. And I have to back down. So I loved it. I loved that Alex had that position. I loved that they're back together, relationship, as far as respect of the coworkers there, Alex and Dave. I love the awkwardness, and then I love the discussion about the wedding. Did you see that part where Alex did not invite Dave to the wedding, and he was upset about that. Not as upset as he was about not getting invited to the Brady roast, but but he was upset about not getting invited to Alex's wedding, and it was a small ceremony, she says, and he's like, 100%, I would invite you to my wedding. And
then she's saying, well, you're never going to get married again, so it's easy for you to say.
Yeah, in fact, you're still married.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm still confused about that. So do you think that his girlfriends know that he's still married? Well, now they all do. Well, or all the past ones do.
Well, the recent breakup, from what the tabloids say, was because she wanted more. She wanted, more
I like
relationship.
her.
Yeah. And he can't give her that, right? He doesn't want to get married again.
Well, he can't.
And he can't get married because he's got one wife right now. And in America, most times you only get one wife at a time.
Wait, that is insane. I can't believe that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he'd ever been married.
I didn't know that he was still married. I knew he had been married.
I did not.
I just assumed they were divorced.
I didn't know any of it. And so I'm shocked by it. I'm very shocked by it. But I don't know. I was interested in reading the comments, or either so, which I think that people are taking sides in this.
Oh, I mean, they have their favorites before this started.
Right.
You were Team Alex or you were Team Dave
to
begin with.
And so now they're obviously just going to, because I could defend both sides, but I could also, I don't want to say, I was about to say not the correct word, offend. But I could also promote both sides.
I know this. I know that, Dave is worth millions and millions of dollars, and Alex is too now. But still, Alex was nothing and became part of Barstool, and then has gone out on her own and grown even bigger. So I appreciate the fact at that moment with Dave in the hot seat, that she had the opportunity to make him squirm. And I think every one of us would love that that advantage and that situation with a former boss or a former friend even, and to get a chance to put them on the hot seat and make them squirm. LT does that to me all the time on the show. If he gets a chance to, if he's got something on me, he'll hold my feet to the fire forever.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's part of our friendship.
Question mark?
It's part of the show. It's part of the show. But if I tell him anything in confidence, it's in confidence for like until the next live show, and then he'll bring it up on the air.
So sometimes less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not good.
Yeah.
Lance, you should stop doing that.
No, it's worked for 14 years, and luckily my friends and or wife are usually okay with it.
I don't know why I just tried to tell Lance through here not to do that anymore, because there's a 0% chance that you will make it to this or be able to find it.
Yeah, or be able to find it. You'll have to tag him in it, and it'll have to show up in his feed.
Yeah, no, I would have to
it.
send him the direct link.
Yes, and then turn on the computer for him.
Yeah, and log into his email. There was one, when he called, this made me laugh when he said something about, she just straight up said, how much are you worth? Yeah. And then asked, do you think that I can make it there? And he said, well, it depends on how successful your little Barstool 2.0 for woman is. Yeah. And that killed me. I was like, okay, he's clapping, which as was expected, he's clapping back. But I was like, I like this a lot.
He is. But then he made a good point, because, she was talking about, she didn't like, the guy attitude, everything at Barstool. But he pointed out her show, Brie Chicken Fry, and a couple of others that he has launched. You look around at mainstream media companies, they don't launch successful women stars, female talent, as much as Barstool has.
Yeah.
They actually, most of the stars that come out usually are men-based, and women are playing the even here in 2024, oftentimes it's a man's show with a woman. Or if it is a woman's show, it's oftentimes is coming off of something else, or they're having to work twice as hard to get it. So I do appreciate that in this situation, several times Dave just turns it over to the ladies, and he makes money off of it.
Yeah.
But
oh my God.
They do too, and it grows into something big. So I appreciate it all.
I appreciate it all too. But so you're indifferent on it, basically.
I'm Team Alex.
You're Team Alex.
Yeah.
You're saying good job for.
She did a perfect job for this. But I love Dave.
Yeah.
But you sit down to do that interview on Call Her Daddy.
Yeah, that she's probably going to ask.
Everything's on the table.
Right. But I wonder if he was actually offended, or not offended, but bothered by it, or if afterwards they were, I wonder what the conversation was like after the camera turned off.
I would imagine it went something like, well played. I would have done the same thing to you.
Yeah. So I guess bravo to all of them.
Yeah.
Bravo to all, or maybe this was all set up.
It could happen. They know how to keep us intrigued.
Yeah. And now here we are talking about it.
That's right.
So good job.
Yeah, waiting for the rebuttal interview. If Dave's ever back on again, I'll be tuned in again.
BFFs, I bet they'll talk about it.
Oh, 100%.
If they haven't already done one, I don't know.
No, I think a new one will drop soon, and then
okay, well,
I'll be there.
That's
one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, you love some Brie Chicken Fry.
Yeah, I like Josh too, and I like Dave.
Yeah, they're a good trio.
But I like Brie.
Yeah, you like Brie.
I do like Brie.
Okay, well, thanks for joining me again for the third
anytime.
time.
I am a uber fan. I'm a super fan.
Oh God,
I watch every episode.
You've been on half of them, so you don't even have to watch.
I watch them all. I've got my alerts set.
I appreciate it.
And then last night, it felt like it was about 11 o'clock when I got my alert.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was late because I couldn't shower.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm delayed because I'm having to travel to take a shower and brush my teeth.
Yeah. But it seemed like it was 11 o'clock, and I wasn't in bed yet. So, I watched it right then. The mailbag.
Thanks.
Yep.
I appreciate it. Well, y'all, if you haven't subscribed, please do what Dunaway has already done and subscribe.
Set the alerts.
Yeah, set the alerts. And let us know if you have an opinion on this, because I'm very intrigued to see, especially the people that aren't necessarily bigger fans of Dave or Alex, one over the other, just a neutral opinion.
But go watch the episode or the highlights, and maybe we'll put a poll up.
Oh, should we?
Team Alex, team
Yeah,
Dave.
I'll put a poll up.
Yeah.
I'll put a poll up. So y'all go vote on that. And we'll be back sometime soon. When?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, she'll be back next week.
I'll be back next week.
Yeah.
But you'll be back sometime soon.
Sometime, but I'll be watching always.
Okay. Well, y'all join on away and watching, and I'll see y'all next time, whenever that is.